All right, we're going to get started. Good morning. My name is Erik Veilleux. I am from the state of Maine, Regional Director in Think Energy. We're going to go through the new Advisor Fast Track 535 training today. We're going to go through some announcements and some exciting things that are happening and hopefully help you guys be able to build your business. So first of all, we just want to remind you that the state of the company address, it's usually the second Monday of the month, but there's a special holiday this month, so it is actually pushed to Monday, August 19th at 8 p.m. You don't want to miss it. Christian MacArthur, who is the COO of the company, he will be on giving us some special information on different rates and different things happening. And then also Mike Falquist, CEO, will be on, and Brad Tales and everyone else. So it's an exciting time and you definitely don't want to miss it. So we're going to start with the 535 training. And, a big thing for me and a lot of people is personal development. This is a quote from Jim Rohn. He's one of my favorites. I try to listen to him almost every single day. It will not be something that you will regret. Instead of a lot of times listening to music in the car or anything like that, I'm listening to old YouTube videos of Jim Rohn or, some of the other great personal development people. So I highly recommend this. It has helped me tremendously in my business. And I know even the top leaders and partners and stuff, they all do personal development. And if you want to be where they are, you want to do what they are doing. And leaders are readers. The person you will be in 5 years is based on the books you read and the people you surround yourself every day. And I love reading personal development books. I love reading many different books, but especially books that I know will help me become the person that I want to be. So you want to really take that in consideration. There's many books that you can read. Eric Worre is like the grandfather of MLM training, network marketing. GoPro is great. All these books are great. I have a few of my favorites as well. I personally love the book The Go Giver by Bob Berg and John David Mann, I think it's his name. But that book, it's really, really good and really changed my perspective on how I look at customers and how I help people. So The Go Giver, that's the name of that book. That's one of my favorites. And there's many great books out there. You definitely want to read and do as much of it as you can. So the 535 system is our building block. You enroll 5 customers personally immediately once you become an energy advisor, and then sponsor 3 new EAs, and then you help them each enroll 5 new customers. That's going to help you become a regional energy advisor. It's going to start really opening up different levels of pay. And you want to do this every month. I continue to try to do this every single month. You don't do it just once and then, oh, I'm done. No, you want to do it yourself every month. And the more times you do that, the bigger your team's going to be. And what you really want to do is, again, continue to do that. And your focus is to hit director. That should be your second focus after hitting regional energy advisor, which is what you want to try to do within 30 days. But you also want to hit the rank of director. And there's so many reasons why you want to do that. Again, you're going to earn all these leadership bonuses for promoting. But hitting the rank of director just opens up coding. It opens up so many different things, different levels. And then right now it also opens up the chance for you to earn the next trip. So driving to director in your first month, you really want to focus again on the 535. So you do that in your first month. Then your second month, you want to help your people do that. So you're going to do it again, and you're going to help your 3 energy advisors that you got the first month. You want to help them all hit the rank of regional energy advisor. Help them do the 535. And while you're doing this, guys, you're earning a pretty good income. You're earning mentor bonuses, and you're really helping your team. So after that, after you do that the second month, you're now at a total of 85 total team customers. You have earned many mentor bonuses. Again, 30 customers on your level 1, that's all mentor bonuses, and 45 customers on your level 2. Again, second level mentor bonuses. And then you have 15 EAs on your team. Now, you're going to be really close to senior energy advisor, but this is kind of like the penny a day thing, where as you are doing it, the further along you are, the more it really takes shape. So in month 3, you do the 535 again, and you help the existing EAs all do the 535. And then you're going to end up after month 3, you're going to have 405 total team customers. You're going to have around 63 EAs. And yeah, you're just continuing to do the 535. You're continuing to help your team, and you're just going to keep gathering mentor bonuses. And you want to have, by then you'll have about 15 personal customers. And that's significant because, again, that opens up more and more levels. So you're now a senior energy advisor. You're getting the rank bonuses and everything, and you have earned a decent amount of money. And then month 4, this is where you keep helping existing EAs get the 535, do the 535. And by month 4, not only do you have potentially enough customers to hit director, you actually have enough customers to potentially be a regional director. And that is huge because, again, opens up more levels, opens up more pay, more residual, everything, and coding as well. So this is really simple, guys. Like, it's not difficult. Well, it's not always easy, but it's simple. And you just continue to do the 535 system, and you will continue to grow. Obviously, it's not always going to be exact, 535 every single time, but that's what you want to focus on because it ends up becoming really big for you. And that's something I continue to do. I'm a regional director. I continue to do the 535, and I'm trying to build to senior director. So the more 535 times I do, the easier and quicker it'll be for me to hit senior director. So this is what you're kind of looking at for level pay, which is the residual income. Like I said, the regional energy advisor is the first big one because it opens up 3 levels of residual pay. So that it means every time customers come in on your first, second, third level and they pay their bills, you're earning residual income every single month. Now, it's not a ton of money to begin with, but that's pretty decent where, a certain significant enough money that it makes a difference. And then you keep going. And like I said, director, you're looking at a car payment a month of residual income coming in. And then you just keep going, 535. I mean, Tony, he's their regional partners. They continue to do the 535. This is what we do. And it brings you eventually over time, not overnight, to senior partner. And you're looking at over $500,000 a month of residual income. So you want to get the Think Plus Connect app. I have this app. It's great. It's a great tool. You want to, when you first download it, you want to click the Learn button, learn how to navigate through it, add contacts. Because when you send people the video, or when you send someone a flyer or something like that through this Connect app to one of your contacts, you're going to get notified that they opened it. So it's not a guessing game where, oh, if I send you a video, will you watch it? And then, it's 2 weeks later and you're trying to chase after them to see if they watched it. Well, if you send it through this app, you'll know if they watched it, and you'll know if they watched the whole thing as well. It'll tell you that. So it's a great app. There's also learning tools. It can bring you directly to your back office, so you don't have to log in, a different way. You can just use the app for pretty much everything in your business. So download it today. It's in the App Store. It's in Google Play. Definitely utilize this app and do it as soon as possible. So one of the key things we want to do as new advisors, and as old advisors, if you haven't done it in a while, go through the Think Plus New Advisor Fast Track Guide. This guide is awesome. You can write down your sponsor, the other leaders in your team, your website. It's got all the links that you need, the YouTube channel, the Telegram channel, all that stuff is all in this Fast Track Guide. And it also has, a name thing where you can try to figure out, your list and stuff. So it's great. You can write down your why, and that's really highly recommended. I just did that again the other day, and you can write that down, stick it up on your refrigerator, stick it somewhere you see it every day to remind you of why you're doing this business and why it's important to you. You want a why that makes you cry when you think about, failing, what that why is. For me, it's my family. So when I think about my kids, my wife, and if I'm having a bad day or whatever, I look at that why and I remember, okay, I need to push through this, and because of them. So you want to have a why that really gets to your heartstrings. Again, this is like I said, what is your why? You need to figure that out. Obviously, we all need money. We do certain things for money, and I get that. Is that going to make you cry? I don't know. Maybe it will. But for me, it's, the family and being able to be home with the family. I used to work for the railroad. I worked there for 8 years. It was really tough on my family. I spent 60 nights a year away in hotels, taking trains from Maine to Massachusetts, and that was tough. So this is something that's going to help me, alleviate some of that time so I can spend more time with my family. And then you can give more to charity. There's so many different reasons, but again, it has to be strong enough to get you through the bad times, because again, this is a simple business. It's not always easy. You're going to get plenty of no's. You're going to get plenty of people, even family members, that say that won't be your customer. So you need something that's really going to get you through all that. And then create a vision board. This is a great thing. We actually need to do another one. We recently moved and don't have the old one anymore, but this is great to do with your family, with your kids. Have them cut things out of a magazine or certain things they want, and then put it on the vision board. This can be a literal vision board where it's like a poster or whatever, or you can do it on your phone. One of my advisors has hers right in her phone on her screen page, and she sees it every day. You want something that you can see every day, and it helps you stay committed and focused on what you're trying to do. But definitely involve the family if you can. If you have a family, it's a great thing. It's fun for the kids and stuff, and it's fun for them to know that, this is what we're working for. So one of the key things of this business is the written list. This is like your inventory when it comes to your business. We don't have, you know, shampoo bottles in the garage or anything like that. Our inventory is the written list. So you want to have as many people on this list as possible. Um, and you don't want to prejudge. I find myself doing that sometimes, and I got to remind myself, I don't know what's going on in someone's life. My wife and I, her cousin, they own a very successful glass company, glass business here in town, and we didn't go to them for a long time because we figured, oh, they're already successful. They don't need this, they don't need the money or anything like that. Well, little did we know, they're looking to get out of that. They're tired. They don't want to do that anymore. And they were looking for an avenue to get out of the glass business. Well, they're one of my top people on my team now. So you just don't know who is going to want to do this. You don't know what's going on in their life. So don't prejudge. That's one of my biggest things that I want to say is definitely don't prejudge. And then you just make the list, acquaintances, coworkers. They say the average teenager, 18-year-old, knows over 2,000 people. Now, if you're older than 18, I'm 49. Obviously, I've known more than 2,000 people in my whole life. So don't prejudge. Use the memory jogger. The memory jogger is great because if you just sat down and tried to think of people, you may come up with 100, 200 names. But if you use the memory jogger, you could come up with 600, 1,000 names. So definitely use the memory jogger. And then, people you do business with, it's endless, the list. And you always want to add to that list as much as you can as well. Friends and family as well. So the list again is the inventory for your business. It's one of the biggest things that you have. And it should be written. Don't just pick up your phone and say, oh, I got, 1,000 people in my contact list on my phone. Write it down. And then what I do is I put a space in between each name, and then I write, okay, contacted on this date, they didn't answer, reach back out. Or we have a meeting set up, or whatever it is, I leave a space, and that way I can write notes underneath that person's name so I know to go back, or whatever it is. Again, memory jogger, you should have at least 100, but more like closer to 1,000 names. Again, I'm not saying that you take a whole day and do the 1,000 names, but you know I know Tony and Diana did this. They took about 4 hours while they were watching a college football game, and they did this, and they had 699 names on their list. So it's definitely possible. And don't if you're not prejudging, I know a lot of people say, well, I don't know that many people. You're prejudging because again, the average teenager knows 2,000 people. So a lot of us are all over 18 here. So definitely put as many people on the list as possible. So you want to look at the YouTube channel is great. Tony put together an actual like list of training videos. You want to go through that as much as you can. Um, and look at some of the training videos that he's done in the past. There's some specific ones, and he's done a great job at putting all that together. And then when you make your list, you want to think about who you would want to put on your board of directors. Now, this is like top notch. You would leave your kids with, people. If you are running a billion-dollar business, who are your board of directors? Who are the people that you would trust to run your company if you couldn't? And these are the first people you really want to talk to. But again, you want to get a little bit of training before you talk to them. But yeah, you definitely want to put together a board of directors. And these people are committed, hardworking people of integrity. Like I said, you'd leave your kids with them, and they're coachable. You want people that are coachable and teachable, because if they go out and try to do it on their own, they have a very good chance of messing something up. So you want to make sure that they're coachable so that they know how to approach people the right way. And then there's some great new phase of our business. We're not just an MLM company anymore. People can join us, not do any of the networking, just gather customers. And with Marketing Center, Copilot, and digital marketing, there's so many different ways to gather customers now. And you could reach the ranks of partner and not network and not get a new business partner at all if you have the right tools. And we are coming out with so many amazing things. I'm part of the beta Copilot program right now, and what Phil and the team are coming up with is amazing. It's really going to help launch our business to new heights, and I'm excited about the future for sure. So you want to look at, as you're working through your warm market and stuff, you also want to look at different potential large accounts. And these are organizations that have a lot of employees, or nonprofits that have a lot of donors, email lists, whatever. I know there's many people in this company that like own an energy oil company or something like that, and they're gathering customers, or large apartment complexes. There's so many different ways to gather customers. And because we're not just a network marketing company, these organizations they're not really building teams, but they're utilizing their client base to gather customers, and they're being very successful at it. So again, faith groups, nonprofits, energy companies, realtors is another one. There's so many different like energy efficient uh companies, that plumbers, heating and everything. And then cleaning companies. There's so many different ways to gather customers now without having to build a team. And, restaurant owners, I know different places like a bar that has a QR code at their bar. It says, scan this, become a customer, and get a free drink, a free pint of Guinness or whatever. People are utilizing different ways. It's all about being creative. Social media influencers, again, those can be great people to have as advisors that don't necessarily want to build, but they're willing to use their influence on social media to gather customers and earn income. So again, this is what I was saying before. The skills training section of the YouTube channel has all these different training videos. This one specifically working with organizations, faith groups, and businesses. Tony is probably one of the best, if not the best trainer we have here in Think Energy. He just does deep dives in all these different things. I know Ed Kenny as well has a great customer gathering video. It's all in that skills training section. You definitely want to check that out. And it's youtube.com/at Think Biggest. So the invitation is one of the keys, along with the written list, is you need to learn how to invite. And again, when you do send out messages, do it through the app. It'll really help you, understand and see how things are progressing. So when you invite someone, you want to gather your 5 customers within the first 24 to 48 hours, because once people go beyond 48 hours and every day after that, you start to really lose them. But if you gather a new advisor and you sit down with them, help them do their certification, and then immediately gather some customers, especially the 5, if you can do that, you're going to help them earn anywhere from $100 up to $600, depending on if it's electric or solar, within their first 24 hours. How excited will they be when the next week they get that check and they've already, either doubled or, you know, sextupled, if that's a word, their $59 fee that they paid to join. So you want to do that ASAP. And if you can be your own customer, obviously you want to do that. In a market here in Maine, we do have electric and solar, uh, along with many other states. So that's two customers right there out of the five, just by putting in yourself for electric and solar. And then you just kind of follow these scripts. Hey, mom, if I can save you a little bit of money, if it's not going to cost you anything, it won't inconvenience you, and it'll be really important to me because working on the railroad takes a lot of time from my family, and I'm trying to spend more time with them. Would you try out my service? Insert your why. Remember, that's very important. That's one of the most important things you can do when you first start, is think about why you want to do this, because this is going to help you when you go to close friends and family. They'll understand how much that this means to you. I did that when I was trying to earn the trip to Hawaii. I was really close to hitting regional director last December, and I was gathering customers. I was reaching out to people and saying how important it was for me and my wife to earn that trip to Hawaii. It was our 15th wedding anniversary last year. We were in the process of moving. We didn't get to really do anything. So I made it clear to the people I was reaching out to how important this trip would be for me and my wife. And that really helped me gather enough customers to become a regional director and earn that trip. So, it needs to be something that means a lot to you and can resonate with your friends and family. Okay, by doing this, I'm really helping, Erik or whoever. And then send a handwritten thank you card. I do that at least once a year for Christmas. I send out Christmas cards, and I also put in like $5 Dunkin' Donut gift cards or Starbucks or whatever. You don't have to do that. I'm not saying you have to do that, but that's what I do. And I get compliments on that. People are really thankful that I send a handwritten thank you card with a gift card at Christmas time. It really means a lot to people. They're not going to get that from their normal electric company. And then people you do business with, you want to do business with people who do business with you. And I try to do that as much as I can. If someone's, that I do business with says they won't be a customer, then I'll go someplace else. Um, I feel like if they don't trust me enough, then I am going to look somewhere else. And then once you gather a customer, before you even sign them up, say, hey, could you do what I just did? Could you ask someone to be a customer, or could you refer someone, like you referred a movie to me or a dinner or a restaurant to me? And if they say yes, then that's an advisor. You want to sign them up as an advisor. Especially with the way the company is going and the fact that it's only $59. you know, I don't beg people to be advisors, but hey, if they're interested in referring, you definitely want to talk to them about being an advisor. So these are some of the marketing um, things that we have. Like I said, Marketing Center, it's getting more and more stuff in there, more designs. We have the rate comparison guide as well. And then we have some corporate videos. And I know Lauren and the team, they're working on coming out with a couple special corporate videos for us that we can utilize to market. So I'm really excited about that. It's coming very soon. Maybe some announcements on the August 19th State of the Company call as well. I know Lauren's going to be speaking about social media stuff on that call, so you definitely don't want to miss it. And then again, this is the Ed Kenny special customer acquisition training. He does a great job with this. He's got scripts on there. You want to watch these more than once and really get those scripts down. Obviously, you kind of tweak them to your own speaking habits. Like Ed likes to say cheers a lot at the end of a text. I have never said that before, so obviously I'm not going to use that because people are going to be like, why is he saying that? So obviously you tweak things, but the gist of what he's trying to say and how he's saying it is there. So again, you're not begging people to join. You're asking prospects to take a look. So utilize as much social media as possible. All these different ways are ways to get people interested and asking questions. And then you want to be brief, in a hurry, compliment. Again, the glass company advisor that I have, what I did with them because they were successful, I really complimented them on their success. I said, you guys are very successful. You're very well known and respected in the community. I just started a new business. I'd love to get your opinion on it. That's what I said. Literally, that's what I said. And because I built them up, they're like, "Oh yeah, sure. I'll take a look at it and give your our opinion." And that's when I found out they, were looking for something as well. So I didn't, say, "Hey, can you please look at this video and see if you might want to join?" No, I'd like to get your opinion. You guys are very successful in the industry, in the community. I just want your opinion. So that's what you want to do, especially to people that are already successful. And then, there's many different ways. I'm not going to go through all of them. But you want to take a look at these. There's many. I know Ed Kenny actually has some printable invites. And if you look at Eric Worre, Ray Higdon is another one that's on YouTube. They have some great scripts as well. And then just go through them and again, tweak them to how you normally sound. Don't just copy and paste everything. And like Tony says here, I'd like to get your opinion on something. Everybody has an opinion and they all want to give it. So you just want people to take a look. Or I'd like to run something by you. Some of these are going to depend on who the contact is, how close you are to them, or anything like that. I've said this, are you open to taking a look at a business idea? I have a guy that mows my lawn. He has several Airbnbs. He's young, go-getter. I know that. So I reached out to him and say, hey, I know you are an entrepreneur type person. I'd like to run something by you that kind of almost goes along with what you're already doing. When do you have 15 minutes? And we're setting up a time to do that. He's very interested, especially because Airbnbs kind of go along with this. They're paying for electricity. So it's another way to get someone interested. But I'm not telling him a whole lot about it. He actually has no idea what it's about. So again, you're not explaining too much. Don't talk too much. Be brief, be in a hurry, set the appointment. So another thing that we like to do is we want to do in-home grand openings if you can, but a lot of times you can't. People are just so busy. So what we've been doing a lot lately is virtual grand openings. Tony just did he's done a few for me and my team. They're great because you can just invite people to this virtual grand opening. Tony kind of runs the show. You introduce him and he goes through the business presentation and then he's there to answer questions. So you already have him there to do the three-way call per se, for the validation of the company. And it's a great way to gather multiple people to take a look at the business. And you can say, hey, I just started a new business. Um, I'd love your support, your opinion. Can you just come be, a picture on the screen for me? A very successful founding partner in the company is going to be on, and I just really want to look good. You can say something like that, and people will come if they want to, they want to support you, people love and trust. So you could get, 10, 15, 20 people on a virtual grand opening, seeing the presentation all at once, and having someone like Tony be the presenter. You already have the validation there as well. So he's got a great video talking about this. Again, it's in the training videos on the YouTube channel. So when you're inviting organizations and different businesses and stuff, these are some of the ways you can approach them. We have a state program that can benefit your employees, members, and local community for free, and it can add dollars to your bottom line or to a cause for your organization support. I have nonprofits on my team that are utilizing this program to help them bring in more money for their organization. It's a great program, and more people are utilizing it. And especially, it's such a low cost, there's no monthly costs or anything. So they can really help their members by saving their members money and help them in their bottom line do what their organization does. So it's an amazing program that we have, and people are really utilizing it. So I can tell you, just like the numbers we see in the residual income plan, numbers don't lie. If you invite 100 people, 70% of the people you show the plan to are not going to think like you do. Um, I have a decent sized organization. There's a handful that are really doing what I am doing or trying to do. And one thing that I really try to focus on, and a mentor of mine said this years ago, is when you look in the mirror, if your team did what you did today, what kind of team would you have? So as a leader, you want to be the leader. You want to be really pushing, because you can't expect your team to push and do the work if you're not doing the work. So just remember that, and you want to sort through the masses to find the 30% of people who will. I have some great people on my team, great leaders, and we are just sorting. That's what we're doing. And the secret is find people who want it worse than you. So that's one of the things that I really recommend. When you sign someone up to be an energy advisor, you get them certified, all that stuff. You also, when I talk about the why, you want to help bring that why out of them. You want them to really focus on what their why is. And if you know it, if you sit down with them and help them figure out their why that makes them cry, that's going to help you later down the road when, Bob is struggling, and I can give him a call and say, Bob, I know you're struggling right now. Do you remember what you told me your why was? And kind of bring that up. You knowing what your team's whys are is very important to help them get through those tough times as well. So once you do the invitation, and you can say, something like, hey, if I sent you a 5-minute video, would you look at it? And then when do you think you'd be able to look at it? So this is key when it comes to the Think Plus Connect app, because when you say something like that and then you send it to them, you can say, hey, if I called you back, you definitely watched it. Well, whether or not he's watched it, or she's watched it, because you sent it through the Think Plus Connect app. And then you just you set up a time to call them back. And by doing that, you're kind of making it so that they feel like, okay, I need to watch this by this time because Eric's going to call me back at this time. So it's great to set appointments. You really want to do that. And then say something like, hey, I'm really good at keeping appointments. How are you at it? So you're kind of making it so that they feel obligated to watch it now because you have that appointment and because you said you are good at keeping appointments. Um, and then some people, like my um lawnmower guy or whatever, lawn guy, he didn't do this, but there are some people that say, hey, I want to know more about it. You need to tell me more. Some of the simplest things you can do is say, sure, I help people get free electricity and I get paid for it. Then you say, so if I sent you the video, 5-minute video, would you watch it? And some people will just keep going. But these three questions are key to getting through some of that. And you just say, how many people do you know that use electricity? How many people do you know would like to pay less or possibly get it for free? And if you could get paid every time someone used electricity, would you watch that video if I sent it to you? So you don't want to start talking about comp plan and 9 different ways of getting paid and this and that. You're going to lose them. Stick to these three questions if you have to get to that point. And if someone doesn't agree to watch the video after that, they're not going to watch the video and they're probably not someone you want on the team. So these three questions is definitely enough for most people to say, okay, I'll watch the video. So one of the things that really make a difference is posture. You want to know what you're talking about and you want to be in control. So you want to say, this might or might not be for you. That's one of the things I did say to my lawn guy. You may or may not be interested, but it is something that potentially could be an add-on to what you're already doing. So I took the pressure off. I said, you may or may not be interested and might not be for you. You don't want to be someone that, oh my goodness, this guy could be amazing. I know he could be great. And then you talk to him and you say, hey, Bob, you would be great at this, what I'm doing right now. You would blow this up. You don't want to do that. You're putting a lot of pressure on someone. They don't know anything that it's about. And they're gonna just kind of shut down. So don't do that. Be in control, act like you don't need that person, because you don't. There's 1,000 people on your list if you did the written list. So one person is not going to make or break your business, and you want to be in control. You can say, I didn't want you to be mad later if I didn't show you. We've had many people on the team that have reached out and come to find out they're already in the business under someone else. So don't wait. You don't want to have this happen. And then it's 99% visual. It'd take 45 minutes to explain. You want to say something like that if they're really bugging you after the three questions, and say, hey, a 5-minute video will tell you everything you need to know. And then after you see it, we can have a more informed conversation. That's again, that's what I like to do. I send the video and set up that appointment so that we can get questions answered and talk. So these are the states again. You should all know this unless you're brand new, but we're in the green for all these states. The white is coming soon. And then the light blue is coming as well, just not as soon. So you could utilize these states, this picture, you can utilize it and say to people, how many people do you know in these states or have contacts with? Most people know people in other states. Especially, people in Florida, California, they all know people in other states. So you definitely want to ask this question and try to, see what happens. And if they say one or more states, great answer. Anything above one or above means we need to get you up to speed on a project that I'm working on. What I like to say a lot of times is, my business is expanding into your state, and you may know people that I need to talk to. That simple. And then you set up a look. Again, I go back to it all the time, but YouTube channel is great for how to invite people to take a look. These are all in that trainings that Tony has. And then when it comes to internet reviews, we all know that we acquired the old Think Energy. They came with a lot of baggage, a lot of bad customer service. But so you really want to explain to people that, hey, we took them over. We got rid of all the bad apples. Um, and we took the new company from a 1.2 rating to a 4.4 rating in Trustpilot. We have excellent ratings. And when you look at other companies out there, Allstate, Verizon, National Grid, they all have horrible ratings. And yet people use those products every single day. Verizon's one of the biggest companies, horrible ratings, Microsoft. So you want to just kind of explain to people, you may find some old ratings out there because they did not allow us to just delete everything. So we had to kind of combine everything. But even by combining everything, we still have almost 4.5-star ratings. So we're doing business the right way. And you want to just explain that to people. So when it comes to the presentation, there's many different ways to present. Again, utilizing the app, sending the short, 5 to 7 minute video to people. That's a great way. Zooms, we have nightly, Monday through Thursday, Zooms at 8 o'clock every Monday through Thursday. And then Tony does one on Thursdays at 1 o'clock as well. And then you can do your own Zoom meetings, like I said, with the grand openings. And then you can do one-on-ones. Hey, want to grab coffee? And do a one-on-one, show them the quick video, and then call and do a three-way call. And then we have local meetings everywhere. We have some incredible big meetings coming up in all over the country. Pittsburgh. There's one coming up on Tuesday in Connecticut with Mike Falquist, Brad Tails, some of the partners that are all going to be there. That's a big one that we're having. There's another one in Natick, Massachusetts this coming week. So they're everywhere. We have some here in Maine as well. The first and third Tuesdays of the month here in Maine. So yeah, they're everywhere, Illinois, everywhere. And then virtual grand openings. You can utilize those as well, or in-home grand openings. Those are great too, because you invite all your friends and family, and then you invite a leader, and the leader kind of takes over, does everything, answers the questions, they watch a video or a presentation, and it's a great low-key atmosphere. People are a lot of times more likely to come over to your house, have, a few snacks, water, don't go overboard, because you want this duplicatable. You don't want to go get, shrimp and steak and all that stuff. But some easy snacks and water or whatever. And more people are just more comfortable doing that than showing up at a hotel meeting sometimes. So it's a great way to utilize your warm market. And then you can do two-on-ones. We've done that before. That's a great way because now you have that third-party validation person with you. Because a lot of times when you start something new, your close friends and family, they don't see you as an energy expert. But the person you bring with you, or the person at your grand opening party, they don't know that if they're an expert or not. They think they are because they don't know them. So it's a great way to really present the business as a two-on-one. And then you want to ask them for the decision. I do that, I say, hey, that makes sense to you. What did you like best? You don't want to say, hey, did that make sense? Obviously, it makes sense. You want to say, did that make sense to you? Um, and what did you like best? Don't say, um, hey, wasn't that great? Or, just you want to utilize what you want answers that are really going to promote positive responses. And then just say, hey, does that mean you're ready to get started? Or on a scale of 1 to 10, 1 being no interest, 10 being ready to join, where would you put yourself? And then, 10% are going to be ready to go right then and there. Enroll them right away, help them get certified, help them put in their first customers. Sorry. Now, again, that's only 10%. 10%, they're definitely a no. Ask them to be a customer. It makes sense to be a customer and save money. And then 80% are a maybe. They're kind of, maybe they have to ask their husband or wife. Maybe they're, kind of not sure. Well, that's when you get the third party validation um, call, or if you're on the two and one, they would be there. So you really want to get them to ask questions and show them that they have a support system through the validation call. Because again, when someone starts something like this, they want to know they're not in this alone. They're in business for themselves, but we want them to know they're not in business by themselves. So having someone like Tony ready to answer questions is very important because it shows them that they don't need to know everything. I know there are many people in this company that have no idea how electricity works. They don't know what a kilowatt is or anything, but they're successful because they're utilizing this system and the validation call. And you want to, again, you do a three-way call with the leader after the presentation. You want to set that call up in advance. You want to make sure that Tony or whoever you use as a leader, it doesn't have to be Tony, but you want to make sure that they are ready and available. So you text, hey, Tony, I'm doing a presentation at 2 o'clock. Would you be available for a three-way call at 2:15 or whatever it is? And then you want to build your business partner up to you, to your potential advisor. So when you call Tony, you say, hey, Tony, this is Bob. Bob, this is Tony. Tony is an amazing leader. He has been in the industry for, 15 years. He's very successful. He knows what he's talking about, and he's one of the best leaders, in this industry that I know. You want to really build Tony up to Bob. And then you want to also refer to Tony or whoever as your business partner, not your upline. We're all business partners here. I don't necessarily call people upline because, that just kind of, conveys a certain something that I don't really want. So business partner is what you want to use. And then before you even set that up and you've talked to Tony and then he's agreed to do the three-way call, you want to tell Tony a little bit about Bob. So, Tony, this is Bob. He owns a glass company here in town. He's very successful. He's looking to get out of it, looking for a way to get out of doing the glass. You want to kind of give Tony some information about Bob as well. And then once Tony starts talking, do not interrupt him. Let Tony work his magic, or whatever leader it is. Let him work his magic. If there's something after Tony's done that you want to really hit home or bring up, then you can do that after he's done talking, but don't interrupt the leader, your business partner. And then do the call ASAP. Don't wait. Time kills all deals. And then don't be a know-it-all. Like, again, you're showing your potential advisor how to do this business. So if you try to answer every single question and you're there for a half an hour trying to answer every question, at the end of it, Bob's going to be like, I don't know any of that stuff. I don't want to learn any of that stuff, or I don't want to have to sit here for a half an hour explaining something to someone. So you want to utilize that three-way call. That way, Bob's thinking, wow, that was easy. Erik invited me to take a look at a video. I watched it. He called his business partner. His business partner answered all the questions. And now, you know, and that's all he did. So Bob's thinking, I can do exactly what Erik did. But if you sat there for a half an hour trying to explain everything, he's thinking, I don't want to do that. So just utilize the three-way call. And then there's many different ways to validate. Again, the Think Plus Connect app, you can drip more and more information on them. If they're still kind of on the fence, send them an article through the app. Then you'll know that they read it. The thinksuccess.plus website is a great tool. There's so much information there. People can kind of scroll through, kind of like Netflix. And then, different Zooms, like if someone watches the video, is kind of excited, but still isn't sure, you can invite them to the state of the company call. They're going to be able to see Mike Falquist, the CEO, Brad Tail, Senior Vice President, all these different people, and hundreds of people on the call, and really see the excitement and people promoting and stuff. That's a great way to validate the business. And then again, press releases and different local meetings. A lot of times people will watch a video, and then if they haven't made a decision, invite them to one of your local meetings, especially if there's a big leader there. And that's a great way to validate. And then 50% of them will say yes after the validation call, and roll them right away. Like I said, don't wait. And then if they're definitely, no, I don't really want to do the business, then ask them to support you as a customer. It's free for them to be a customer, and they can still do the free energy club. And then if maybe 20% of people still kind of maybe, I would say, well, who did you think of immediately once you were watching this video? I'm sure someone popped in your mind. And that's when you say, okay, write a few names down. Then you would go to those people and do the same thing. And if they decide to join, that's when you can go back to this person and say, hey, this guy is ready to join. Are you ready? All right. And then you just do this over and over again, just like the 5-3-5 system that you do every month. You continue to invite and present, and over again. Use the tools. Don't be a tool. And then never give up. These are all the different Zooms and trainings that we have. The office hours are great. Tuesdays and Thursdays from 3 to 4. Lauren and Shannon, and sometimes some special guests are on there. It's great information that you can use. And then the fireside chats. There's so many different things happening that you really want to utilize. And again, don't miss the state of the company call. It's August 19th at 8 p.m. A lot of information is going to be on there. And here's all the different channels, Facebook groups that we have. And I am going to okay, I don't know if you guys can unmute yourselves. I will answer any questions for a minute. But if not, we will get going. I know Tiffany, do you know which post are you talking about? I don't know if Tiffany's still on here or not. The question. I don't know if that's the one you're talking about. No, if anybody has any questions, I think you can unmute yourself. Let me see. But I just want to thank everyone for hopping on today. Yes, the recordings are usually posted in the YouTube channel. So if you go to youtube.com/at think biggest, all these recordings are there. So definitely try to utilize that. There we go. So yeah, these are the places where they would be added. So YouTube channel, they're usually up the next either today or by tomorrow. Usually Tony's pretty good at it unless he's out of town or something like that, but he's usually pretty good at adding all the latest information to that YouTube channel. Thank you, Mike. Thinking I'm gonna see you maybe next week, or at least in Puerto Rico, I believe. So, again, thank you guys all so much. If there's no more questions, um, that's it. All right. Well, thank you guys. I hope you have a great weekend and don't give up. That's definitely a big thing. Sometimes it's easy, but if you have that strong enough why, that'll get you through. Thanks, guys.